We are live.
Let me actually compare it to what's going on.
Copy. Might want to give us 1 second, sorry.
No, okay. Y'all can keep talking. I'll just have you muted on stream. Also, Don, Ottawa sent his paste in match split if you need to look at it. It was that Rindoberry. Could have been cool. Could have been cool. It also could have been Rindo Ice Spinner and done, roughly the same thing. Sad. Where is breaking news? There what is. There what is. One person. I'm letting people file in right now before we begin. Y'all can see my screen, right? Yeah. Yeah, you can. We start off with Geo versus Trainer Black. Syracuse, you've been with Trainer Black a lot. You've done a lot of mocks. Did you mock with him for this game?
No, I haven't mocked with him the last few weeks. He's been, I don't know if he's been doing with anyone else of late, so I can't really tell you what's been going on.
Cheating on mocks?
So is this a watch through?
Yeah, so it's we're gonna watch through and then rank. So it'll be pretty quick.
Okay.
It's a little bit longer, but rankings will be quicker because week 8, everybody knows what's up. You know what I mean? It's gonna be like this team does this, and probably move on, but
Ingrained rule
Trainer Black loves this shit.
With weakness policy.
In the sun.
Oh, it's policy?
In the sun. Crazy.
Well, the sun...
That kind of did a lot. I think he's okay with being on court here. Not like he has anything to hit the bolt with anyway.
He did it. How much does this do? Ooh, 38, not bad.
38, yeah.
But dice to darts. Sorry, bro.
Yeah.
Shouts out Ingrained.
Yeah, well, now you can just... I feel like
hands
have been better there.
Knockoff.
That's still big.
Spike.
That's a lot of hazards.
Can't really deal with them.
There's no spinner either.
Whoa.
Bulk up.
Acro. Wait, but
that did nothing.
But the citrus, there we go.
Okay, citrus. I was going to say that has to be an item.
Now we do it, but you die. Sorry.
Yeah.
I think we did watch this game live. Yeah.
Protect.
Click knock off his turn.
Hell no. Here we're gonna get the poison.
Jab.
We're going for the poison. We get it.
He's fishing. He got it. Third level
Well,
spikes.
now all of the spikes are up.
Whirlwind.
Muck is
Ow.
going to basically
Ow.
die when it comes in at this point.
Body press.
Just
It
run
lives.
offensive.
Oh my god, Gio's actually doing the funniest thing.
He taunts after the reflect. Muck comes out. And
3 damage.
Almost dies.
And now, what are you
Spectrier
gonna
gets the
do?
agility. Knockoff?
Weakness.
Is it weakness policy? Yep.
Easily.
Bonk.
Is this
And
just
now,
sweep from here?
yeah. I think I saw
Well, I guess
this game.
Ursaluna
I
comes
saw
out.
this part of the game.
Everything
but
is in
draining
range.
gets so much health back.
Oh!
Doesn't kill.
I was so...
Yeah, this game was the reason Spectre is back at the top of kill leader, I think.
Kill leaders, yeah.
Ditto would go crazy here. I forgot I said that. Iron Ditto.
Oh, yeah, I saw.
Iron Ditto. And then this Dawn, your game.
This filthy, disgusting game.
Good
Look,
game.
it was a great game. No matter how you
It
want
was
to
good until the thing happened.
Oh, yeah,
Can I hear us on stream yet?
Yeah, they can.
Okay, yeah, this game is fucking terrible. I'm sorry, Kuma, that this happened. Like, I feel like I played fine here. Like, I feel like I made all the right plays except towards the end I kind of choked. But
Yeah, both of y'all played it really well. I was impressed. It might have been game of the year, if not for the thing.
if not for the game deciding to throw his Gliscor away for him.
Which is weird. This computer does that.
U-turn into Metagross. Entei comes
Until
out.
knock. I didn't have a good Metagross switch in. I didn't plan for it very well.
Flare Blitz.
Blitz was so I could guaranteed to hit KO Fez if it wanted to come in.
Good call.
It also did more
Zarude, get the
Gliscor.
Stealth Rocks up.
Yeah.
Now you don't
They
have to
didn't
deal
really
with
do anything this
Terapagos.
Yep.
The definitely not boots Terapagos.
Never
That
would
is
be
fair.
boots.
I
No.
body slam here because it still kills from this range. I body slam again because it has rolls to kill.
Para.
It's sheer force.
Nah.
And
Oh,
No bullet punch because he's policy.
No BP.
He was
1 for
fast
1.
Metagross, so I kind of knew he wasn't bullet punch.
Ring.
Here I U-turn. I think I'm Scarf. No, I'm Banded.
Yeah.
Just to break the
Rapid
policy.
spin away.
I kind of just spam Haze because I don't want this thing getting out of hand with like
Yeah,
Gleam and
got
shit.
like
And then that's the turn where it clicked for him. I clicked Freeze Dry there because I wanted the chip to put it in range of Moon. And right here, believe it or not, Banded Knock does not kill. I have to click Outrage.
Damn.
At least Banded Knock didn't always kill, so I just had to sack my move. That was really good in the end game. I choked somewhere around here. I U-turn into Empoleon because I figure, oh, it can't do anything to me. Then it U-turns into Zarude, and that was the turn where it all got really scary.
Power Whip. Flip
Not gonna
turn.
lie, I assume that was Banded. That's just Scarf. He can't stay in here, so I Blitz. Iron Head's gonna. I probably could have just Sacred Fired there. Then Iron Head picks up the kill there. Now this is the only thing left. I can just kind of Intimidate, Cycle it, and be mostly safe. Sack the Empoleon, go back in the Lando, sack the Lando, and then go Entei. Go for Sacred Fire.
Yeah, you played this end game very well.
After the one missed turn, yeah, I did when I had to. This does nothing. I click Sacred Fire. Crit didn't matter, and I don't think Burn did either, because even if I didn't get either of those, I click Sacred Fire the next turn, live the power up, and then E-Speed afterwards, and I'm okay.
Close match.
Yeah.
Yeah. If he had his Gliscor, I almost certainly lost.
Gliscor
Actually,
really
it's hard to say because things with Moon would have certainly gone differently, and Moon looked like a demon with Fez not getting it stuck in.
It's really crazy how like nasty Kuma's team is. Just everything is just absolutely nasty.
Yeah, there's not a bad. But it's just a great team. Yeah, it's really good.
You call really cool. Fundy Eye bad? Fundy Eye is the GOAT.
Who? Funny Eye.
Fundy Eye.
Oh no! I like both Thundies. I hate Torn. I don't think Torn's real.
True.
I think that Manya.
As long as we're talking about Therian. Torn
What?
Eye is great.
Yeah, Torn Teeth, excuse me, yeah. The regen one. I'm like, why can't that thing get a
Fuck
move,
the
you know what I
regen
mean?
one.
I also hate Zapdos.
Whoa,
And
whoa.
whoa,
What my boy
yo,
Zapdos do to
he
you?
can't hit a move! I'm kidding.
Hurricane is for real, man.
It is. And here is Cass versus... This
I
game
forget
was...
what happened this game.
It came, let me tell you, it came down to the last turn.
Awesome.
And I mean literally
I
the
feel like this
last
is
turn.
a Blood Moon. Like, this has to be a Blood Moon game, right? Like, it looks nasty here.
You'd hope so. One would think, but
One would, in fact, think.
as we watch, we learn a lot about these two. Switching into hazards and hitting resisted moves.
We've seen 2 Mucks this week
Yeah.
Yep.
in the same division.
Muck's a good
My
mon.
boy Muck's coming up.
Big
Rest.
rest. Not Chesto. Blood Moon is out.
Catch that punch.
Drain punch.
Drain on the
Choppleberry.
Chopple is interesting in
Blood
this team in
Moon.
particular, I feel like. Like, it helps for Lycanroc Dusk, which didn't even come. But, like, outside of that, there's a Keldeo on the team, which is just going to hit you with Water Move.
And now we just click into Muck. Never
The spikes
mind.
are just absolutely frying right now.
They are. That's insane amount of damage.
I feel like you could have just gone this thing earlier.
Yeah.
On the kilo, maybe. Oh, would have landed.
Knock. Black Sludge.
Clear
Clear
Smog.
Smog.
Clear Smog is fine, I think.
That's cool.
So then
Zen.
Headbutt.
Flinch.
Thing.
Tough.
This thing's gonna die. Yeah. And then this thing just. Oh, I remember Azelf almost won this
Yeah.
because it
Ice
I
Beam.
feel like
and
it,
Enam.
it was.
Oh,
I think
that's
it was.
treasure.
I think it was Specs Azelf, so it should have just stayed in and clicked Psychic on this thing.
Just
Maybe not.
wait.
'Cause that's Sludge Bomb to 0. That's
No,
definitely B.
Just wait. It gets really
I
good.
remember Kilo like outspeeds this thing and it just beats it at the end. Yeah, it just Volt switches twice pretty much. Because Psychic it crits, but I highly doubt that mattered. Then this thing just clicks Volt twice and it lives.
You won't believe what happens next. Lives on 1! Yeah, last
He rolled
turn.
and wins. Yep.
GG.
Literally the
1%.
last turn.
That's
Yep.
insane.
Cass was 1% away.
1%
win.
from getting the dub.
Did we had 2 forfeits in Sunset? this
3.
week, didn't we?
3.
3?
3? Brutal.
Yup. 3 of them.
I knew Caleb forfeited. I knew Manila forfeited. Who was the Clonbrook, right?
Clonbrook.
Clonbrook.
Right.
Yep.
Or Sunset.
The Thunder. The Forfeit
Even the
Dome.
players are forgetting about it.
A
The
forfeit dome.
Whoa! Why did
yeah.
he name this mon me? What the heck? Why did he name that me? What
Not
the
cool.
Because
Crazy.
you're slow, bro.
I'm slow. I
Slow Blast
am. It takes me a bit to remember.
Acid
things.
spray is interesting. I guess it's to try and beat this thing.
Knock. Wow. That's a
Wow,
lot
bait
of pairs.
not bringing weakness policy Petra. I feel like Toxic was just kind of better here.
What are we trying to catch?
Okie dokie, Terra. Ooh, substitute.
Doesn't
It
kill.
lives.
Beats that. Now you can bulk up. Yep.
Tasty.
This thing gets a dark move, I think, right?
Yeah, it does.
I think it gets probably.
Scald. You can probably scald again or sub again, right? Yeah. Does this thing just win?
I don't know. I actually have no idea. I don't remember this game at all. But it's looking like it's
Probably.
gonna win.
Because
I think I
Oh,
saw
wait, no.
trivia, but I don't remember how it went.
That shit's
Psychic.
unaware. That shit's unaware Claude. I think. Oh,
True. but
I did.
Claude has
Hold
both
on.
his stuff.
Hold on. You'll see what happens later. I remember this game
Okay.
now. I just remember what happened. Just watch closely.
all right, we're still subbing.
We can
Should we
skip.
just start
we
attacking
can
at this
skip.
point?
There we go. We knock. We're
I
getting-
feel like you probably should have. Yeah.
Rocky,
with the-
yeah.
like he knew this thing was Rocky Helmets. I feel like he should have just preserved a bit of HP.
Yeah.
On
Drain Punch.
Drain Punch, I guess, makes it
Toxic
easier,
Stream.
but this is like Specs of Owl. Okay, it's not. Drain Punch again, get some HP back.
I
I
have
mean, yeah, I
some.
guess Claude. This thing does not kill.
I have some insight on this
Get
game.
Drain Punched.
Mm,
So
fucking
this thing
Iron
does
Boulder.
just win then.
Is it not
Tear
unaware Cloud?
Ground. That was not unaware. Okay. Which would make sense for Gren. Oh, it is unaware. It just didn't
What?
go to it.
Okay, so yeah, so after the game, Cherry Hill DM'd me and was like, I thought I made it unaware, but I guess I forgot. Or no, sorry.
What?
I thought
Talking
he
about
no,
water
sorry.
absorb?
Yeah, he thought it was water absorb. He thought he has water absorb for the
I
ground.
gotta check these things.
Yeah. And then guys like, Alsace is a favor to you in the future. Yeah.
That's
So
brutal.
yeah, he switches out though. Because Claude,
Switching out, I think, is fine. Just preserving the HP on it for later. That's doing nothing. If like you go into Moltres, do you not? Or fuck it, go like actually I don't know. Tough. Treads is like okay from here.
no freezes, no freezes.
You're not taking much from Earthquake. Sacking your Gren feels like really
Yeah,
bad.
you're getting Life Orb plus toxic damage. He's banking.
Really want freeze right
What's a
here.
freeze?
Did not
Didn't
get
get
the
it.
freeze. He recovers again. I guess not getting rid of recovers on this is going to be really helpful. It's boosters.
Avalok eats
tread.
this.
Tough.
Icicle Crash Miss.
Flamethrowers.
Scorching
You're
Sands.
trying to catch the Claude coming in. Just click flamethrower.
Scorching Sands again. Trying to get burned.
Oh.
Flamethrower is doing almost as much damage as Scorching Sands anyway.
Does it not have Flamethrower?
Surely it does.
You'd hope.
Cherry Hill loves a good slow game.
Fire
It's
Blast.
Fire Blast.
Right.
Okay. Scorching
See,
Sands.
they're doing Fire Blast. Literally did more.
He's just trying to chip this
Does
whole team out
Claude-
with toxic.
Does Claude 6v1? There's no way Claude 6v1s. It's burned all of its recovers already.
It's got 2 left.
Yeah, 2 left.
Get a spike up. Rapid spin.
Unfortunately, it won't matter.
You have Steel Beams, big Steel Beam, recover coming out here.
Recover. A lot of recover months.
Walling. Right
He
there.
loves a good stally game. Cheerio does.
Honestly, all you need right now, all you need is this thing low, and then Arcanine wins. Go Arcanine right now. Yep, Arcanine. Click that Banded Flare Blitz. Yep. And that's wraps.
That's wraps.
Yep.
That Arcanine's so good. Toon Arcanine's so good. Yeah. So basically, he forgot. Yeah, he forgot. Let's tail that tail.
That's our
Unavoidable
7th
loss.
seed right
I feel like if he didn't, if he had gone Claude earlier, he probably won that honestly, because he was giving him a lot of trouble. Just Claude and the bulky guys, but instead he sacked all of his offense.
Very tragic. Very tragic.
Yeah. Does that mean it's time for the
the very quick power rankings because half the matches
very quick.
Because Syracuse has a bedtime and half the matches weren't played, so
Yeah. Last time we said we were going to do this quick, we ended up doing what, an hour 40?
and now we're in 10.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Hour 10? Yeah.
We're 10. All right, let me swap.
We'll make it quick.
Let me just.
Dom, would you like to start, or do you want a second?
I'll start it off.
All right.
Actually, no. You start it off.
Okay. Sounds good.
Let me get your things up on my side screen. All right. Starting off, number. Wait, did you make any changes?
What? Yes.
Okay.
What the fuck? Hold on. I need to take a second.
Okay.
Cool.
Go ahead. I need to.
What changes did you make?
Elden Ring just
uh,
announced a new
4th and
DLC.
5.
Anyone who cares?
Elden Ring DLC won Game of the Year?
Apparently. No, they just announced a second one.
Oh my god.
Oh, nice.
Apparently.
Yo.
Uh-huh. Yeah, a co-op DLC.
Co-op. Ooh.
A minute
intended for
ago.
co-op. Yeah, I have not been watching
What
Gamer
the
Christmas. I've not been watching Gamer
When does
Christmas.
this come out? Okay, sorry, go ahead. Had to drop that.
On to number 14. Your Salt Lake Salandits. Hit me with the Syracuse. What do you got?
I mean, it's just another tragic loss. Only a one differential to the Metro Boom Burston. Cass has been playing really, really well. Since taking over the team, I think week 2. Or no, they didn't take over the team. They just had a force plus.
No, Cass has always had the team.
Yeah, sorry. It's been all a blur at this point, but
You're good.
just besides week 1, they've had in the 6-0 to Clonbrook, it's been close match after close match. I think there's almost no scenario at which point they don't get relegated now because of Toronto getting the force win.
Yep.
But even though the 14th seed, they really don't deserve it. But it is what it is. They're probably going to go and stomp in Neon next season, and then we'll probably see him back. Besides that, you just little things here or there when it comes to their play. Nothing that we haven't already talked about. We can go on, but I'll spare us the time. Kaz has played very well this season. Just kind of, like sometimes when you play fantasy football, you can have the highest points for, but you can have the highest points against, and you'll still end up last place.
Dom, want to double down?
Dom,
or
do you have anything?
Elden Ring DLC got announced, everybody.
Yep. Oh, rest in peace, Don.
Are we left?
Welcome back.
Oh. I am still here. Anyway, yeah, about Cass. I think, this is just, an unfortunate season, I think. Cass is the kind of player that, the play has not been fundamentally bad. She's just, she's just lost. She's made it close almost every game. There was 1-6-0 against Clonbrook. Everything else was 3 or under. And these are against some really high up there teams in the rankings. There's Tokyo, there's Scarborough. I'm up there pretty high, and then Orlando is up there really high too. So these are really high teams, and she's finding ways to make it close with all of them. So even though she is by default at the bottom of the power rankings, I don't think it says much about the strength of the coach at all. I feel like it's just an unfortunate season.
All right. Moving on, number 13, your very own Toronto Staraptors.
So, a little controversial because they're technically 12th overall on leaderboards and potentially going to miss relegations. The only reason they're below the next team is because even though they have 2 wins, both were forced wins, so they really haven't had a true win per se versus the team that is in the leaderboards below them. But they're above them just in our power rank just because they actually won a match versus a high ranking team. Not saying that Toronto can easily still prove us all wrong. They do have the Snowpoint Zoruas next. They can try and be that upsetter, but otherwise they really are a winless team. 2 forced wins. They are wins for leaderboard's sake, and it does avoid relegation, but it's they're not earned wins, I'd say.
Yeah.
Not saying not trying to be detrimental or anything like that, but that's just the reasoning for the power rankings. Even though, like I said, they're 12th in the leaderboards and do have 1 win over our 12th seed. At least the 12th seed has kind of had a solid win. Play wise, we've talked it to death. Not having Terra Sinistra, stuff like that. We've talked about this team half a dozen times already. So, Don, do you have anything extra to add?
Yeah, I think what's important to note here is that Toronto. I think you already mentioned it, but Toronto hasn't actually beaten a team yet. Both of his wins are from forfeits. But like also, I think all of his losses are pretty much they're as big or bigger losses than Cass's were, than Salt Lake's were. And so like even though he's 2-5, like the numbers just kind of they indicate that this really is a lower end team right now, which is crazy because like the team isn't bad, right? It's just he's had some unfortunate big losses.
We will give him a caveat.
a tough
That's
schedule.
probably one of the toughest schedules. This is probably
True. Very true.
the toughest schedule. But it's just, sometimes you got to deal with what you're dealt with, and you got to be able to deal with that tough schedule sometimes. But
I was gonna say,
I think it's we'll move. Yes, Ryan?
I was gonna say the same way. I've asked Don, is Stargazer to Sunset different? He said it's night and day. Toronto goes from neon to sunset and has to face Dawn, Orlando, Kuma, and it's about to face Snowpoint, dude. That's a tough. Just those four alone, it's like, oh my god. Those are like top four teams, literally. You're facing four top four teams.
It's unfortunate because the two lower end teams that they could have like had a deserved win were both forced wins. So it's just like,
yep,
it's just very unfortunate.
So,
but
moving on to 12.
Onto the 13th seed, I think. Yeah, or 12. I mean
12. You got it. The Manila Manectrics, who have forfeited their last game of the season. For those who didn't know, officially they did. Yeah, just.
I didn't know that. All right. Well,
so they are.
Cherry Hill actually really wanted to play it out because he needs the differential, or at least having the differential from a big win would make him much more comfortable in this playoff run. But the forfeit kind of makes it sketchy for him.
Mm-hmm.
So now he's 4-4 minus. Well, it really comes down to
these guys.
Yeah, it really if Clonbrook wins, he's in. But I think he a tough match, and then it comes down to Nickits. I think is probably going to lose. Clonbrook and Nickits both lose. It comes down to Tottenham versus Metro,
which will be very.
Who does
very
Metro play?
Metro and Tottenham play each other.
Yeah.
Metro and Tottenham.
9 and 11.
So if New York and Clonbrook both lose, it comes down to that match for 8th.
Yeah.
But Manila, not a lot can be said because hasn't played his. Yeah.
Hasn't been playing a lot of the games.
Yeah. So.
It's they do have one big win versus Snowpoint, but they've had 2 forced losses now, so this is gonna put them at negative. So they get a -5 differential now.
Yeah,
I think him and Cass are already confirmed to demote.
Yeah, confirmed.
So he is demoting. We do put him in the power rankings above Toronto just because he does have a
real
legit win versus a top 3 team probably.
Yeah,
at least top 4 team. So they do got
it's
that.
So
win
hard to
for
say
him.
top 3 or top 4 because all the teams at the top are so freaking neck and neck. It's like hard to quantify.
Oh, once we get to like 6th and 5th place, it's literally just impossible to try and rank. At that
it's like, this guy's like an inch ahead of the other guy, I guess.
Yeah, it's like very minor things. From like 6, you kind of we'll get to 6 where it's a little bit like easier, but then 5 through 2 is just But
That's
we put Manila above Toronto just because they do have the 4 win. They will. They're sadly going to get relegated. Let's see if they can crawl themselves out of Neon. I think had some okayish play.
Yeah.
I think we'll move on.
Carl's a very smart player, another orange goon, so he will be just fine.
And on to the New York Nickits, coming off a forced loss to Toronto, which kind of really kills their playoff potential. I think if they won against Toronto, they had a safe passage into playoffs. Now I think because of that forced loss, they're going to miss it. Now they have Charleston this week. I think that's a pretty safe kind of win for Don, but not to jinx you, brother man. If you even get to play the match, hopefully
he said he's trying this week.
Yeah,
he's trying. And also, if you look at it, at his record compared to everyone else on the leaderboards, he's only like one diff behind the other contenders for that 8th spot in the playoffs.
It's
so
just
he's definitely
really,
not out of it.
Yeah, it's just really unfortunate because I think he had a safe way into it. Like he was pretty safe.
Yeah.
And now it's
he probably would have gotten the win over Toronto if I had to guess, because the Oxy speed is like kind of a menace into that team actually.
So it's just very like unfortunate that the match was able to play, because now I think he's gonna miss out on playoffs, which would have been really cool to see, because he could have went from Neon one season, and then if he pops off in Sunset playoffs, he could have already gotten to Stargazer within 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Sadly, no fairy tale story here, but
yeah,
I put him down here just because I think he's gonna end up missing playoffs, and it's really hard to put him over the other teams that are, have a higher chance of making it. Tough matchup. I think we'll see what he can do next season. He's not getting relegated, like you said. The relegations for Sunset are pretty set, but I do think he's gonna be missing playoffs just because these next teams, they're pretty well set otherwise. Anything to comment on about like his player rate this season, would you say?
Not really, except for his wins have been small and his losses have been pretty big, especially like that -4 against Toronto. Like you said, it really is just a pain for his differential in the playoff race, because I think the 3 spots that are below 8th right now are -8, -8, and -9, including him. Or I guess 8th, 9th, and 10th are.
Yeah, and plus if he won against Toronto, he would be 4-3 instead of 3-4,
and then plus
and 4 and 3 is guaranteed.
Probably like -2 even.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to say exactly what it would be, but that one forfeit is really detrimental for him at this point in the season.
And yeah, I think we'll go on to the 10th seed after that if we don't.
Yeah, we will.
Just
You're
keep it moving.
Very.
Now,
I mean, okay. Well, number 10.
So, Clonbrook Kyogres. So here's the thing about Clonbrook: if he wins, he's in. If he beats Geo, he is in the playoffs, guaranteed. There's almost no differential that could ever, even if Tottenham and Metro also are 4 and 4, their differential so far behind that any win gets Clonbrook in the 7th seed.
Yep.
So winning, he's in. Geo is set pretty much, so it's potential that Geo just might not come in trying too much, but he is contesting seeding. I hope he comes in and plays a tough match. See, but this if he does play at 100%, it's really tough for Clonbrook. He's coming off like a bunch of hard losses, -2. Sadly, he wasn't able to make our match this week. But we'll see. If Geo comes, trust me, I did too. Wasted so much time prepping. But it is what it is. But yeah, so winning, he's in. I think if Geo plays at 100%, I think it's gonna be really tough, and I think Geo takes it. But it's like we said, played. He's just got to win. Let's see what he can do. Hopefully, his match isn't already scheduled. Hopefully, we'll see it get played. Anything to comment on this team at all, Don? I know Clonbrook's had a kind of rough season.
Yeah. I want to put it like this. I'm getting slightly pick'ems mode here, but we don't really do that in Sunset, so it's all right. Clonbrook is going into the double ghost team with the ghost resist being Knackle Stack.
Brutal.
I can't say
I'm
very confident in Clonbrook's chances this week, not even from a player perspective, just from a matchup perspective. Like, going against a Spectrier with no actual ghost resist honestly, a lot of times you may as well just forfeit. Like, Spectre is such an oppressive mon in the builder that when you don't even have a semblance to a check to it, it just swallows games whole really quickly.
So we're moving on to now these next 2 teams. If how we think the scenario is going to go, because Cherry Hill is pretty much guaranteed in, as long as Clonbrook loses. These 2 teams, if Clonbrook loses, they play they play to get in. Winning, you're in. So Metro and Tottenham are playing each other. So they're, spoiler alert, Tottenham's going to be the 8th seed because these two are just right neck and neck to each other.
Yeah.
It's like we've said earlier with like the 5th place and above, this is inches next to each other. I ended up putting Tottenham's just slightly above Metro just based on strength of schedule. Metro's coming in on off of a lot of hot streak of winning 3 matches in a row. But I think this is probably going to be their last really, really tough opponent. So we'll see. Hopefully this isn't like a roadblock or, getting caught cold after a bunch of like potential easy wins. I think they've been playing very well with Heatran and Blood Moon and stuff. They have a lot of really cool pieces, and it's really nice to see this team that was, I think, in last place come up into playoffs. Would be like the ultimate like Cinderella story. So it's really cool for the narrative to see them kind of crawl their way up, especially because I know they took over a team that already had two forced losses, right?
I think so.
So really, Metro themselves are only 3-2, with a -2 differential. So they've had a positive win rate, but just based on like strength of schedule as well as some of the team going into this last matchup, I think Tottenham does have a little bit more of advantage with the teams itself. I would love to hear, Don, your opinion on this matchup. I know it's like I said, we're not necessarily pick'ems, but this is probably the match of the week. As long as Clonbrook loses, this becomes the match of the week because it's whoever wins, it gets into the playoffs.
Yeah, I would agree with all that. Honestly, I don't remember Tottenham's team off the top of my head, so I don't know if I can actually give them the edge in the matchup. I have a really hard time giving any team an edge in the matchup over Metro's team, because Metro's team is just, it has like the first 7 are so incredibly dangerous that it makes it really hard for any teams to actually like have a good matchup into it. Blood Moon is like really threatening into a team like this because this team it's the Trick Room team, right? It's Ursaluna, it's Iron Hands, it's Zong, and you have Blood Moon. So you don't want to be getting up Trick Room for that thing. So basically, I feel like it's going to be a close one for sure, and I hope it's a close one because those are always the most entertaining games. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all I have to say about this one.
It's life or death, as we just saw
We'll
with
just move
Ottawa
on
and
to-
Carolina, Metro and Tottenham, hopefully in the same headspace.
And then we'll just move on to Tottenham next, since they're going to be the eighth overall. Tottenham's had a really rough schedule, I would say. Probably they faced almost every single top team except for probably like Don and yeah. But otherwise they faced Gio, me, Kuma, and all like kind of really tough losses where the wins have been a little bit closer. So that's why you see that big negative differential. Mostly been playing around like Lilligant. Lilligant's been kind of the all-star of this team. Lilligant and Bronzong, which is really surprising because you look at Thunderous and Darkrai, 0 kills, Iron Hands, 0 kills. So he's been using like his lower end pieces to great effect. Just the downside is just like you got those higher end pieces that aren't getting the kills that they should be. Tough loss to Geo this week, but once again, it's Spectrier. If you don't have a great like counter to it, it's just you lose. Geo is kind of like the Czech team of like, oh, you don't have counter to double ghost, you just lose. And I feel like Tottenham really didn't have that too much. I mean, most of your one ghost immunity is Ursaluna, and then it's But into Metro, they're facing Heatran, Ogerpon, and all that stuff. I feel like his team, if the offensive power of it, potential of it, could potentially blast through Metro. But like I said, it's just inches at this point between these two. And if Clonbrook does lose, because once again, that's the big caveat. If Clonbrook wins, he's in no matter what, and then this matchup doesn't become as important. But if he does lose tomorrow at noon, then this is the match to watch later in the week. What are your opinions, Don, about potentially putting Tottenham above Metro, or his matchup going into this next, into his match?
As for the matchup, I feel like the team is a little bit like two-note, right? Like there's the trick room mode and there's the setup mode. And they both kind of get stomped by Metro's team the more I look at it. Like, okay, I don't want to drop sets, because that's cringe. But like they're like if taunt or encore is just clicked, right, against half the mons on this team, they're neutralized. And like we've been saying that all season. So if Metro can like get creative with stuff like that, then she stands a really good chance at beating Tottenham. And I think if I had to pick someone who's in favor to win that match, I think it's probably Metro. But again, it's like it's not even by that much. Like we've been saying, Sunset's a game of inches right now. So even though I think I would give Metro the edge in the specific matchup, it's not even by much.
And I think on that note, we'll get to the 7th seed, which has been confirmed is locked. I'm pretty sure it's locked in.
Yeah, the most mid team in Sunset right now.
They're locked into playoffs, I believe.
No,
they're not. Oh, because no, that's only gonna be
No,
plus.
No, it's only -5.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not necessarily locked in then, because it's what, they're +3. So it's gonna be -5. So if Clonbrook wins, and then if Metro or Toronto win by
bigger.
a large margin, bigger, Cherry Hill's out. He does have the safest.
He would really
chances.
He would really like Clonbrook to lose as well to help his odds.
Yeah, if Clonbrook loses, he's in no matter what.
Probably. Actually,
it would help.
Clonbrook, New York.
Clonbrook would have to lose. No,
wait,
you're
actually,
right.
no.
You're right.
If Clonbrook loses,
Cherry Hill's in. Yeah.
No, because he's still. Oh wait.
So
no, it depends because Clonbrook is 0 diff right now.
Clonbrook will be 3-5. Cherry Hill is 4-4.
Oh, if he wins.
Yeah.
The only other scenario.
Oh yeah, wait, no, sorry, yeah.
The only other scenario in which Clonbrook or Cherry Hill doesn't get into playoffs if Clonbrook loses is if New York Nickits 6-0.
Yep.
Like Don.
I will not let that happen.
So exactly. So
Uh-oh.
if Clonbrook, like I said, Clonbrook losing is the biggest asterisk for getting into playoffs. Cherry Hill just has the greatest chances of getting to playoffs in pretty much every single one of these scenarios, and for that reason, I put him this high in the power rankings. He's got, like I said, this kind of very tanky, but also very, you got 2 offensive mons. Coming off a pretty big loss to Snowpoint, I think if he won that match, he'd be feeling a lot more comfortable right now, or at least by a smaller differential. But even then, still safe. It's one of the better odds of making playoffs. Almost every single match for him has been big wins or big losses. There's no middle ground with him except for against the New York Nickits. That's been the only one. And but he's pretty, like I said, I'd give him probably like a 70% chance of making playoffs right now. And that's kind of why he's above all these other teams. What do you think, Don?
I think what's going on right now is
like basically what's happening is the differential is really close for Cherry Hill in playoffs because of the forfeit from Manila. But honestly, some of it could have been avoided if you look reflectively at some of his games. All of his losses were big losses, but the one I'm specifically thinking of is the one against Snowpoint. He had an unaware, like we just saw it in the recap. He had the unaware Claude, and he just didn't go to it on the Okie Dokie. And honestly, the Clodsire, the Rochan, and the Avalok were giving the rest of Snowpoint's team such big trouble to where if the rest of the offensive mons had been around and not sacked to the Okie Dokie, I really think Cherry Hill had a really good chance of winning that game. And I think because he didn't make those plays earlier, I feel like he's now kind of really he just has to wait and see if he makes it into playoffs. There's nothing that he can do.
Mm-hmm. That's the worst
So
part.
yeah,
Go be sweating this weekend.
exactly.
He's not even in control of his own destiny. And
He has the greatest chances, but he's
Yeah.
it's up in the air. It's out of his control.
And now for the most
So on to
insane top 6 you'll see, which they could be
Yeah,
anywhere.
I think from
These
this
top-
point is where we get like the jump from 7 to 6 is a pretty big jump in
Yeah.
my opinion.
Top heavy.
I agree. It is a very, very, very
heavy.
not even inches, centimeters, centimeters for positioning. Onto the 6th seed, I put Geo here. Now he has, like I said earlier, he has the team builder checkmark team of if you don't have anything for these double ghosts, you just lose. Going into this week, he does have Clonbrook, which Geo's locked in. He's locked into playoffs, but he would really like to play for differential. If he gets a big like 6-0 sweep here, he can potentially jump up to like 4th or 3rd or potentially even 2nd. If there are some losses this, but at least like 3rd or 4th, and he would really like to be able to pick his opponent. That way he can choose someone who has that big ghost weakness. Otherwise than that, he's won some really tough matchups. He's had a really tough schedule, but he's beaten some top 4 teams. He's beaten Snowpoint and he's beaten Charleston, but then he's lost to other top 4 teams, Syracuse, Orlando. So he's really had he's won the matches he's won. The matches that were tough, he's split basically, but otherwise than that, like I said, 6th is it's not. It sounds worse than it actually is. Anything you want to comment on, Don?
Yeah, I think Geo's chances of winning his next game are like really, really high because, like we talked about when we talked about Clonbrook, there's no actual ghost resist. There's Knuckle Stack because of its ability, but past that, Spectrier needs minimal chip on anything, and it rolls the whole team. I'm pretty sure it doesn't need much speed. It needs a little bit of speed investment for Sneasler. Also, a couple of things need chip for AV insurance. Like you need to chip Archaludon in case it's AV, Mudsdale in case it's AV. But honestly, if you get a boost, and then you're kind of just doing enough damage to things anyways, and things can't do enough damage to you in time. Like I feel like Spectre is just going to be such a monster in this matchup. And honestly, it's the kill leader in the division right now, and my prediction is it's going to stay that way, 100%.
Oh, easily.
I agree. So if he does get a 6-0 sweep, that puts him up to 13 points. Which if Kuma takes a loss, or Snowpoint or any of these teams take a loss, that gets him up to the 3rd seed. So that would allow him to pick at least one of his opponents, which would be pretty hoot. So Geo does really want to try and get as much differential as possible. Because if Kuma does win, he's pretty locked into 2nd or 3rd, where Geo would be stuck more at 4th. He would really like a Snowpoint loss and a Kuma loss this week, or Tokyo loss, because that would cinch him into a 3rd seed.
And another thing to keep track of that's kind of niche is the most elims in PBO histories is a Chien Pao with 18. It went 18-2. This thing is 16-3. It is teetering the edge of record books.
I think it's going to break the record this week.
Yeah.
Maybe before playoffs even.
Yeah.
Watch him just get a 6-0 sweep at Dragapult just to ruin it.
Oh,
I mean, but that's also possible.
Yeah.
What stops a Spec Shadow Ball? Honestly, we could very, very likely see a Spectrier opening to break, and then Spec Bolt to clean.
Yeah. Well, on to the 5th seed, which, I said, it's centimeters at this point, is going to be, even though they are ranked 3rd, it's going to be Tokyo Teddiursas coming off a really tough loss to the Charleston Chestnaughts. Their only other loss being to Snowpoint Temple Zoruas. For that reason, then they got ranked below both of those teams. Just that's really the only reason why they're below those other two teams. Like I said, it's inches for these top five, but he ends up getting the 5th seed just because he has two teams above him that have beaten him. You could do an argument for him being above Orlando, but it just kind of evens out at that point. So he's got probably the nastiest team when it comes to just looking on paper, just stats and abilities, amazing Terra captains. So even though he is ranked the 5th seed, this is one scary team. Come playoff time, and we know who's probably getting picked. If he doesn't make the top 4, we know what the 4th seed is getting stuck with, and it's going to be Kuma's team. Besides that, anything you want to add, Don?
Yeah, I think at this point the only reason I'm above Kuma is because I beat him last week, and even then, the only reason I won that game was because the Showdown gods decided to eat his input and force him to go to Gliscor on an ice move. So if that hadn't happened, then I probably would not have won the game. It's hard to say for sure, but I probably would not have won. And
the rankings would be completely different. Right?
Exactly,
Top
like
5.
Again, it's a game of centimeters. But yeah, like I feel like Kuma is definitely going to be, if he doesn't make top 4, he's going to be the one left for the 4th seed to play. And I just hope that isn't me, because I do not want a rematch of this team. I am very scared of playing this team again.
I'm definitely not picking him. So
yeah,
we'll bribe
promise you that one.
Nico to do it.
Now we got to pay Snowpoint. Maybe we can get Snowpoint to do it.
True. Actually,
But,
Snowpoint might do it again.
Yeah,
They
did.
Might.
They got to get their revenge. Or no, they did beat him. Never mind.
No, Snowpoint beat him, so I could totally see Snowpoint picking Kuma if he's confident in his ability to do it again.
Yeah, but speaking of your and Kuma's match, onto the 4th seed.
I should know these by now. Where is it? There it is.
CC.
CC.
There you go. The Charleston Chestnaughts. Same thing like with most of these top 6 teams that are 5-2. Their only other 2 losses are to fellow top 5 and 6 seed teams. Like Don said, he gets put above Kuma just barely because he beat him this week. Don, you got a pretty easy matchup with the New York Nickits. I mean, it's not easy. He's trying to play in playoffs, so he will try and play you tough. You're still gonna have to come in guns a-blazing. And yeah, you got the turtle was the kill leader. Now you've let the horse take it. So let's see if you can if you get a 6-0 sweep with your turtle, you might be able to take the kill leader position back.
I'm telling you now, Turtle's getting 7 kills this game. Going right up to the top.
So if you do get 6 kills, you do tie with the Qianpao at 18-2.
You do.
Yep. Does the Qianpao one count playoffs?
No, it only counts regular season.
Okay.
So this is your only chance. You're gonna have to Enamorous Theory and sweep. But
I should count playoff records. Fuck.
Actually,
Anyway,
I'm gonna have to
move on.
Like you're gonna be the 5th seed. Hopefully you end up getting stuck playing Snowpoint. That's my biggest hope going into playoffs. Is I need to see
you really want
Snowpoint.
that game to happen.
I will pay money.
I have the answers. I have the answers to all of your questions, but I will not release them. I am the genie.
I hope Snowpoint put you on their top list of like teams they want to face. That's all I hope for.
You're probably on there.
I'll never tell.
I'll let you know you're down on mine. I'll give you that one.
That is true.
Anyways,
you.
As for my team, right? I think my team is probably one of the only ones that's brought every Mon.
Yeah.
I kind of do that every season. I think that's just kind of how I play. I don't draft Mons if I don't intend on bringing them.
You don't have no NFEs or whatever.
No, I feel like it's not a fun way to play. I like using the most of my team slot. And like I don't know, I feel like the Mons on this team, sure, all the kills are kind of leaning towards Enamorous, but then after that, it's kind of evenly spread out. Like all the guys have their role, right? They like Landers can do whatever. Roaring Moon is a really good cleaner or breaker for Enam. Empoleon's a great pivot. Like it's standard stuff. Like none of these guys are particularly flashy, except for my Terra captains. Honestly, like those are the guys that give the team the identity this season. But I don't know. I definitely don't think I have a free matchup against New York Nickits this week. I think I probably have the advantage in matchup, but I don't think it's a freebie for sure. I think I still have to play carefully. But yeah, I think that's everything I have to say about my team right now, just pre-playoffs.
Well, on to the third seed, which a little, it's so hard to rank Orlando and within these top five. Spoiler, it's Orlando Magikarps is going to be the third seed. It's so hard to rank him, I feel like, just because he's played the least amount of like the top five, and out of the top five, one of them's Geo, and then the other two is Kuma and Snowpoint, which were both losses. So it's really hard to rank him, I find, in this top five. So I feel like 3, just because he is the second seed overall, putting him as the third seed because he has lost to the second seed that's above him. So that's kind of the only caveat holding him there. Now this man has been taking his Terra captains. This is the man who really has taken the ability of terrestrialization to its fullest potential. Rotom Frost and Tornadus Eye. Even though Soaring hates Tornadus Eye for some reason, I don't know what he ever did to him, to hurt him or whatever.
I love Torn Eye, I hate Torn T.
Oh, sorry, my bad. All right, we'll talk more about Torn T when we get later on this. But
we get to the worst team.
Subjective. But yeah, third seed. He's only in third because he lost to the second seed, but he has used terrestrialization to its fullest effect. Still hasn't brought Scizor. That's always gonna be the biggest question mark this season. I'm gonna find.
Don't need him.
Don't need him. But that is a lot of points that just sitting there. Maybe he'll bring him this week. Hopefully he brings him this week. Watch him just 6-0 with Scizor just to spite me. But yeah, what do you think about Nico's team, Don? And just kind of like his positioning in the top 6, because I feel like he's almost like the outsider in it all.
I feel like he's
still like the deadliest.
I feel like he's only an outsider in the sense that his schedule just hasn't aligned with the rest of us. Like the way it's been between like you, me, and Kuma, we all played each other in the last couple weeks of the season. We kind of have this three-way who's going to beat who kind of thing. But Nico is kind of just like falling outside of that. He got his more difficult matches out of the way at the beginning of the season, and he's been kind of coasting for now. And yeah, he's going to be coasting at the end of the season too. I wouldn't be surprised to see him pull back into the top one seed spot. And I don't know. It's just I feel like he's going to be in a great spot, and he's definitely going to have one of the first picks at who he plays in playoffs. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, on to the second seed.
Who could it be?
Who I have been hyping up all season.
The Titan Killer.
The Snowpoint Temple Zero. The Titan Killer. Once again, the biggest question mark there is the loss to Manila. But otherwise than that, they have faced literally everyone but Don in the top 5 and has beaten every single one. They lost to Geo. They don't really have a big ghost answer. Like you said many times, if you don't have the ghost answer to Geo, you just kind of lose. And that's kind of what kind of happened to Snowpoint. They didn't really have a ghost answer. Yeah, ditto, sure. But otherwise, they've beaten everyone else. Everyone else in the top 5. They've beaten me, Tokyo, Orlando. The only ones they haven't faced is Don, which once again I will pay good money to make sure this match happens. And but yeah, for that reason though, I feel like they're the second seed, just because a one wild loss and a loss due to a matchup versus beating everyone else in the top just puts them above here. They've had, even though you look at this team and you're like, nothing really is like crazy, but they have used all these pieces very effectively. We just saw Okidogi pretty much sweep, and they've had some, these last end of the season pickups. Honestly, were pretty huge. Suing, Arcanine, Okidogi, they've used them very well. Moltres has been here doing what it's got to do. it's just they've just been playing very, very well, and it's all on their play. Anything you think, Don, just about the team or how they've been this season?
I think the team's been good. I think the changes have. I think they haven't fundamentally changed the identity of the team, which is probably a good thing. The Terra captains have definitely been a face of the team. Jolteon with 10 kills right now. Iron Leafs had a good chunk before it was traded away. Oki putting up a good performance that I think it was a debut game. I don't think it was a debut game, but it was it definitely put in work, right? It threatened to end the game if the Cloudspire weren't there. And yeah, I just feel like it's been a very strong team. I feel like there's been kind of an over-reliance on Petrohunt as an offensive Pokemon sometimes, but he didn't bring it last game. He brought the Black Sludge version, and I think it kind of just died, but it's whatever. But yeah.
Snowpoint Town.
All right, and on to the first seed.
The number
We've all
one.
been waiting for.
You would have
The
guessed
number
it.
one seeded team. Coming off their worst win yet with only a 3 differential.
Chill.
Don, opinions?
I don't see it. I think this
Yeah.
is like at best like 6 or 7 maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know, like who drafts a Lowland Sandslash? Who makes that a Terra captain? Like I don't
Yeah.
know. That's some crazy shit.
I don't know.
Crazier. Why is it Mortos and Kirim? Why draft Kirim?
True.
Why just like switch out Mortar and Kirim
That's
for
what I'm
like better
saying.
mons?
Kirim is here to just be the like, you know how every
The
mob
prep
boss
check.
has that big guy standing behind him. Lowland Sandslash has been the mob boss, but Kirim's been the guy behind him. Where you're more worried about him, you're not worried about the mob boss currently pointing the gun at you.
Wait, that could be the nickname theme. Like it's the Zootopia guys, the polar bear and the mouse.
Yeah. Yes, you're right. No,
But
I know
for
what
real
you're
though,
talking about.
the team has been like seriously oppressive in all these games.
Yeah.
I was kind of just hoping a Lowland Sandslash didn't come into me, and then it did, and it got like 5 kills. And I was like, well, I guess I just have to hope it isn't Clear Amulet and try to intimidate Cyclet. And it was, in fact, Clear Amulet. And so, yeah, like the team, like Locaine Torrentee is like one of the nastiest combos in draft. Like it's known as that. And this team is just like utilizing their pivoting abilities really well. Chili to get in Sandslash or Kyurem, U-turn from Torn to get into other guys like Shell Smash Blastoise, Nasty Plot Hydrapple, keeping things a bit more slower pace with Swampert or Incineroar. It's really nice. And like all of the bulky guys on this team have the potential to be offensive as well. Like Torrentee, we've seen it be offensive in these games. Incineroar was Scarf against me, and it basically, I don't want to say won the game, but it increased the chances by a lot. Swampert, it has like 110 attack, I think. Blastoise does Shell Smash stuff. Hydrapple can Nasty Ball. Like literally every bulky piece on this team can be offensive. So I think that like it's got a lot of flexibility in its Pokemon, which is something like you really, really want in any draft team. Picking one beat mons are usually not going to be doing. So yeah, anything you want to say about your own team, Syracuse?
It's the GOAT.
It's the go.
And it's the GOAT.
But
I just wish
the number
But
one
what?
seed curse. A classic.
True. Very true.
There is a curse amongst number one
Well-
seeds. It's been broken, but
thankfully the 8th and 7th seeds are going to be it's a bigger drop off, so but we'll see.
we'll find out.
We'll see it, like you said.
Anything to close it off with?
Maybe I will end up eventually facing Clonbrook like I was supposed to, but we'll just wait till the playoffs.
Oh yeah.
I will not. I'll get a free week of not having to prep.
You wish.
But I do wish. But on that note, thank you all for joining us, and we'll come see you playoff time.
You got something special for the.
Bye bye.
Got something special. Bye.